homestead living live at the same time. And I honestly wasn't quite sure the direction I was going to go with this. As I've shared before, Papa leads me. And I am coming to you today with just so many deep and amazing emotions flowing through me today. As you guys know, last July, we really embraced our dream of being able to embark on a life in interior Alaska. And we put an offer in on a parcel, and it's all contingent upon this beautiful parcel here in North Idaho selling. Good morning, Miss Laura. And that deal basically fell through because our parcel didn't sell, and that parcel in Alaska sold. Though we connected and have created a wonderful friendship with the owners of that parcel, and we've continued to pray. And I believe that is a great part of the message that's going to come through me today, is that so often when things don't go as they are expected, we stop praying and we stop embracing that immense dream we have right before it's ready to flow for us. And the other thing is, we always are gearing life based on our timing. Good morning, Miss Shelley. Where this whole life is a gift to us on this earth. And it's not based on our timing at all. You guys have heard me speaking about living out of a place of joyful expectation versus, or joyful anticipation instead of expectation. And that has served me so well, living out of that space. And, you know, we didn't lose sight of our dream in January, February, when everything fell through. We just kept praying, and we just kept taking one day at a time, and we just kept moving forward, doing what we were led to do, because we continued to pray and always will pray for wisdom, knowledge, direction, discernment, and as you've seen me adding, awareness, because this year has required that we add the term awareness. And we just kept praying, and we just kept following Papa's lead. You know, we're in this in-between place of desiring to be one place, but we're in another. There's tasks here in Idaho that need to be taken care of to allow us to sustain ourselves for winter. Firewood, harvesting our meat for the year. There's just a lot of things, and there's a lot of desires we had here. You know, building a shop, building a blacksmith shop for my husband, getting wood sheds in place, different things. And because we live a very self-sustaining lifestyle, and so we kept praying, we kept seeking, and we just kept going and doing what Papa has put in front of us. And between then and now, we've kept the property for sale. We've been, keeping our eyes on what is available in Alaska. And I'm not even sure when this parcel surfaced, but Papa placed a beautiful place for us in Alaska in front of us. And it is amazing. It's new construction, which is awesome for me because I struggle with mold toxicity. So a lot of the homes, because of either not being lived in all year round and also moisture, there's a lot of mold in Alaska. In the structures, much of the structures there are, just like we built here, from the land. And this is also from the land, but it's new construction. There's everything's in place. So for the first time in our existence as a family, we will be ending up in a location where we will be able to just go and enjoy life instead of racing to get under roof, which is what we've done this parcel and the previous homestead, which has been don't get me wrong, that living in a wall tent for 8.5 months was like the most enjoyable season of my life. It was just so cool. And we lived in one here for 4.5 months while we built this home. But to be able to explore and to just go into a place for winter and just settle in and be able to play is like a really exciting thought for us. And we've had people interested in the property, a lot of people. And a month ago, we had a husband and wife come here and check out the property, and they were just beautiful, beautiful people, missionary family, which just aligns. And we've had people interested in our parcel to divide it up and make it a development, which would just ruin this place. This is a magical, miraculous, God-present place, and we really were prayerful for the right people. And Friday, we showed the parcel to other members of that family. We visited with them again on Monday. I think they were here for an hour and a half on Friday. They were here for like over 4 hours on Monday, and they came to pray over the property again yesterday. And just such beautiful people, such a magical experience. And it just makes me want to share with you so deeply today the power of our prayers, the power of trusting Papa with everything and just leaving it in his hands and placing it at his feet. And understanding, I think this is so important to mention today, and maybe we'll touch on it again next week. But right now, things are chaotic in the world. Many people are fearful, afraid. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of oddities. There's just a lot going on, right? And it's real easy when you listen to the news to just become devastated and frustrated, fearful. A lot of negative feelings surface. And we feel somewhat helpless, right? And what causes that fear and that anxiety is because we feel it's out of our control. And yes, much of what happens in this life is totally and completely out of our control. In reality, the only thing that we can control is ourselves, plain and simple. And in that statement, it's important to remember that part of being able to control yourself is learning how to wield your prayers and to deter the enemy. And in such, do you realize what great power you have? You know, regardless what Papa was going to do in our lives, we just trusted. We trusted. We were totally okay wherever he is leading us and taking us. And under normal circumstances for me, I am totally content in life. Yes, it would be amazing to experience Alaska. I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like to get there and just be in that stillness and in that mass beauty. Good morning, Miss Robin. And the beautiful thing is, though, I live out of a place of contentment. I am happy because God is so present. And when you can get to that place, and when you understand that although there's much of our lives out of our control, the control we do have is very powerful. It is through our prayers that God guides us. And I know I've shared this before with you guys, but I'm going to share it again. You know, it is through my prayers and my quiet time with God that He lays everything out before me for my businesses, for the direction, for my schooling. And I'll give you examples. You know, when I created our community, I didn't really need to put a whole lot of thought into it because he shared the graphics with me. Like, I had visions of everything. All I had to do was just create them. I didn't have to invest time and thought into what it would all look like because it's His. And I wanted it to be His. And I was prayerful and I was seeking Him. The point I'm getting at with that is the more we seek Him and the more we hone in and the more we can just become intuitive in His presence, and the more willing we are to be open to His direction and His guidance, the more He will offer that. And the more that we stay steadfast and trust Him in our lives, I believe the more He blesses us. You know, it would be really easy in our circumstances to have gotten really frustrated that doors didn't open and that things weren't happening, and to just, you know, throw in the towel, throw our hands up in the air and say, you know, obviously that's not what He has for us. And, you know, I hear people say that all the time. Well, He didn't heal me yet, so He's not gonna. And, well, the doors didn't open, so it's obviously just not for me. Well, no, I plead to differ. And there are times where it may not come to fruition, but what does come to fruition is going to be so much bigger and better than you could have ever imagined. But His timing is so perfect. And our recent prayer has been that we get to enjoy Christmas in Alaska this year. And we don't have our offer yet, but the word is yet. We met beautiful people. As a matter of fact, you guys know me pretty well. It's not like I sit here bawling on a whim. It's, you know, my emotions are usually pretty in check. There are times that I do, you know, when thinking about my family or maybe some of the blessings that Papa has bestowed on me over the years, I will. But when the folks drove away on Monday afternoon, I just started to cry. The Holy Spirit just rattled me. And really, I can't even honestly put it into words. It was just a very deep feeling of Papa's movement in our lives. And quite honestly, regardless if this encounter takes us to Alaska or not, we were connected with some of the most beautiful people on this earth. And I know deep in my soul that there was great intention beyond exchange of a parcel in this connection. And it is just so powerful when we allow Papa to take the wheel. You know, it would be really quick in our circumstances to drop our price or do all kinds of fancy marketing to try to get the right people. And I have shared this before, I think. You know, we had other people interested. They wanted to break it up. There was also somebody that came to us that was extremely snarky, very rude, and didn't even come to look at the property and was degrading the property and the price. So we didn't even show it to him. because we knew he wasn't the right person. We want somebody here that's going to appreciate this place because of God's presence, and these people were surely it. So I share this with you today for a lot of reasons. One is so that you can watch God's hand at work in my life, because we are called to share Jesus. And one of the greatest ways we can share him is to allow people to see how he's working and moving in our lives. That's what our testimonials are for. That's why we are given tests and challenges. But also, we neglect to see his hand in our day-to-day lives. And it is oftentimes in the mundane and in the day-to-day lives that he shows up so vibrantly. And there were a lot of people here. There was a mother and father, and then there were 3 adult children that are married, and each of them had children. And what a blessing it was yesterday. While they were walking the property and praying, I was gifted the opportunity to watch the children. The grandfather was going to, but they had some vehicle troubles, so Glenn was helping them with the vehicle, and I was enjoying the children. And oh, what a blessing that was. What a blessing that was. Good morning, Mr. Keith. I have been thinking about you greatly, hoping you get to experience a big silence. Oh, me too. Me too. I just can't even begin to imagine. And part of that joy is being able to take you guys along on this journey, because we will be if this all moves forward as we feel it's going to. They know our desires, we know theirs, and we've got a lot of moving parts to get from here to Alaska, and they have even more, because it's 2 large families coming together here, Lord willing, and just gave me goosebumps. So they've got a lot of moving parts also, and more than we do. And but as we transition, we will be on snow-covered, possibly icy roads, but we will also be on a ferry for 4 to 6 days, which will be really amazing. And, unlike this place where we can actually drive a vehicle to it, we will be traversing river for like 3-4 hours to be able to get to the property to even get our material things in there. And that is dependent on the river with a boat, which will not be an option because it's already beginning to freeze up there. So it will likely be on a snow machine pulling sleds. So this will be a grand adventure, and it will be one that we look really forward to bringing you guys along on. But, don't lose sight of your dreams. And just because things don't work out at a certain period, keep praying, keep trusting, and also live out of joyful anticipation of what he has for you rather than just expectation. We could have spent the last year and a half totally focused on our dream and missing what's happening in our day-to-day. And I don't want to do that. So, I pray, I dream big, and I live big. I enjoy every moment of every day. And you're going to hear me really sharing on this moving forward, because, I'm seeing the health and wellness industry blowing up with like a lot of lies, a lot of scare tactics, a lot of fear. A good life lived and a healthy life starts from the earth. And living, not chasing things so much that we're missing what's right in front of our eyes. So dream big, pray lots. Don't ever stop praying. And trust that God has a beautiful plan for you. And oftentimes the way it looks is that our dreams and his will kind of collide in ways. It's not always, like I said, not always going to be exactly how you ask for it, but he knows your heart's desires, and he also knows what's best for you. And in my experience, I've had my socks blessed off of me. So much. So much. So don't be so rigid. Keep your eyes on the prize. And just learn how to enjoy your life while you are seeking good things. That's one of the beauties of this property, is that there's so many spots on this property that you can see God's presence, that you can escape to the quiet. And there's so many moments in our lives that we are so worried about how everything is falling into place or not falling into place that we're missing the goodness. And I'm going to share something with you. On Sunday, I was backing up my workhorse laptop. It's a 4 terabyte machine that is full. I had to be backing it up because it was running out of room. It is a massive machine to do all that I do, with all the videos and courses that I'm creating and everything. Anyway, I was backing it up while I was spending time with my family, and I came to check on it and was going to swap out drives, and my screen went black. I am not in a position to replace this machine right now. But this season was intense, and I believe in some ways, that might have been the enemy. I'm just going to say it. I believe that was the enemy trying to trip me up, keep me from doing what I'm doing. I've got an iPad, I've got 2 phones, an old phone that's not connected to service, but that is useful over Wi-Fi. That's how I'm going live with you guys right now. And he doesn't realize that I see myself as unstoppable. So I will find a way, whatever that looks like, to go live and to keep doing what I'm doing till this laptop gets repaired, which is another funny. I live very remote, and Dell told me there's going to be a certified technician coming to my home on Thursday. So we'll see. I have a feeling they're going to get afraid and go back home and not come here, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I would have been really busy Monday and Tuesday, or feeling really drawn to be busy, because I'm in a very busy season right now. I'm mentoring with a Christian business mentor. I'm pulling all my schooling together and creating my packages and really polishing everything that I've started and everything that Papa has led me to. Papa used it for good, because I didn't even think twice about it. It was very unfortunate. It was really disappointing, but I didn't get all upset about it, and I didn't get all fearful or worried, because I don't go there. It's just not part of me anymore. And what it allowed me to do is to just enjoy these people and the experiences in such a beautiful, deep way. One of the individuals is a family doctor who is now studying to be a naturopath, and our connection was just instantaneous like this. Very powerful soul connection there. And these little children, oh my goodness, to listen to their laughs and to watch their creativity and their just how smart they are. They were just having a blast here. We were looking for treasures. One of the family members said that, jokingly, that they're going to have to add baggies to the offer, because each of the kids had a baggie that they were putting their treasures in. So it was, what the enemy always uses for evil, Papa uses for good. You know, that first parcel, 63-acre lake, 20 acres, completely surrounded by state ground. Yeah, it was dreamy. It was really dreamy. But we would have had to do a lot of building and to get us set up. And I just truly believe Papa has our best interests always in mind. And I know many of you are walking out of that place of not even able to dream, maybe because you're just so caught up in everything that's happening and in a place of anxiety, fear, worry. You know, what does the future look like? We're not meant to be there. We're meant to be right here in the present. And as I shared before, our greatest power and our greatest tool in our tool belt is our prayers. And our ability to tell the enemy to kiss our wind and go pound sand. He has no power over us. And I know that beauty is going to come from this box, this useless box sitting in front of me here. I know Papa has a plan for me. He will make a way. So please don't live out of a space of fear and worry. And don't worry about tomorrow. It's not promised, but today is. You're in today. Live today. Enjoy today. It's where some of the most precious, actually, that's where the most precious and amazing things happen every day, is in the moment, in our day. And we also have great power over that too. Like I said, I could have been missing all of what was happening here and chose to be in front of my machine while they were touring the property. I would have missed out royally. So, trust Papa. Trust that when things don't go your way, that he will make a way. And watch what he's going to do here. I can't wait to take you guys on this journey with us. And I know it's coming. I feel it. I was reduced to tears when they pulled away. And I ended up in that space multiple times throughout the evening on Monday in just joyful happiness of feeling the hands of God moving. And whether you are just, living the day-to-day, or you're dealing with the healing journey, or you're dealing with marital issues, or you're dealing with financial issues, trust me in saying that whatever you're dealing with, he'll make a way. If you guys have been following me for any length of time, you watched us go through a financial struggle. You watched us have to sell our first homestead because of the slippery medical debt slope we were on. You watched me in a near-death situation. You also watched me rebuild and grow. And all through it, I never lost sight of him. He was in it all, every single step of the way. And I share those stories with you. And I hope it's encouraging to you guys, because you don't have to be in distraught places to see and feel the hand of God. And you shouldn't be seeking him only when things are crazy and chaotic and rough. You need to be seeking him through it all. And you need to be looking for his hand in everything. It's there. Oh my goodness, it's there. But if you're not looking for it, it's pretty much a given. You're going to miss it because you're too focused on the wrong things. So there's a lot to take away from today's message. But I'm sharing my excitement. I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm sharing with you the things that changed my life and that have made my life absolutely amazing, even in the chaos. And let me just share also with you, the enemy attacks my body still. I do have down days, and my family will tell you, I might be down, but I'm not stopped. And I might be down, and I might be resting and doing some self-care, but I'm still honed in on him. And I'm still moving forward, even sometimes if that's just mentally and not physically. So you're not alone, but we all have the same tools and we're all serving the same God. And He is big, He is mighty, He is miraculous. And like I said a couple weeks ago, don't put Him in a box. I'm going to pray us out of here. Papa, I just praise you for this glorious day. I praise you for what you're doing in our lives. I praise you for how you are present in absolutely everything. I praise you that we can put our struggles at your feet, as well as our dreams and our desires, our families, our finances, our marriages, our children, our prodigal children. We can place it all at your feet. You hear our prayers. You know our needs, and in your perfect timing, you unravel the most beautiful gifts to all of us. Not just one of us, not just some of us, but the gifts are there for all of us. And I just pray that everyone listening to this, whether live or the replay, understands that they are worthy, that they are chosen, that they do have purpose, and that you have a beautiful plan for their lives. Help them to live in the present. Help them to see your hand. Help them to feel your presence. Help them to hone in on your leading and guiding. And help them to share you and celebrate you. There is just so much beauty walking out of this space. And they too can be that vessel for others to see God moving in their lives. And I'm seeing it across the board in all of their lives. You are working, you are moving, you are healing, you are restoring, you are returning the prodigals, you are working, Papa, and you will continue to work. And we call you into everything. We call you into this world, into this country, into our lives, into our churches, into our families, our marriages, our finances, our businesses. We want you in everything, Papa. And I demand the enemy to leave our bodies, minds, spirits, homes, children, property, material things, churches, community, families, and friends, in the name of Jesus Christ, and never to return. And Papa, just fill us up, strengthen us, build us. That's why we are called to community. We need community. We need fellowship. Help us to feel the presence of beautiful people and see you connecting us with all the right people for just a time as this. And just thank you for what you have ahead for all of us. Thank you for what you are doing in my family, but thank you for what you're doing in each and everyone's lives. I know that we are not special. I know that we are all chosen. And I know that the plan you have for each of us brings us together in such unique ways, because iron sharpens iron. And what one person has as a gift, the next person connects, and it just continues to go on. We polish one another. We complement one another. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for the plan and purpose you have for each of us. And thank you for how you are going to unravel all of this for the world to see. And may others begin to see their blessings just as vividly as we see ours. Bless this beautiful family that is interested in our property. Bless them mightily, Papa. Provide for their needs. Make a way for them, just as you are going to make a way for us. And I ask that you do the same for each and every person in our community and here in this setting, Papa. Bless them mightily. Provide for all their needs. Give them peace and comfort. Touch your healing hands to their body. Provide for their financial needs. Restore them, Papa. And just thank you for your love, your mercy, your grace. Give us all wisdom, knowledge, direction, discernment, and awareness. And thank you for the beautiful and abundant blessings and miracles that you continue to just place in front of us. Thank you for all these beautiful people. I love you, and I ask all this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. Okay, my friends, I will continue to do what I'm doing, and with the laptop or not, and I will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Keep praying, keep trusting, live in the present, live where you're at, enjoy what you've got. God is so good. Love you guys. God bless.